Hey everyone, it's Road to Retire, the channel where I try to retire early. If you're interested in following my journey and seeing every detail that I post on my channel about the journey, subscribe and follow along. I am 34 years old, and yes, the title's right, I have paid off my mortgage. It feels really cool, but maybe not as cool as you would think it is. So, do I have any regrets about paying it off? One, I'm trying to retire early, so part of retiring early, part of the FIRE movement, one of the goals is to lower your monthly burn rate, how much you are spending on everyday expenses, lower it as much as physically possible without living a horrible life. And some people take FIRE to the extreme and they have a ridiculously cheap style where they're just eating pasta every night. I'm not that type of person, but I am the type to get my, recurring expenses as low as possible. And the mortgage is obviously a huge one. And we took out a 30-year loan at $290K roughly 2 years ago, and it's already paid off. Now, obviously, you can't do that without a lot of savings. And at the time, my wife and I were dual income, no kids, and we saved roughly 60% of our income. So paying it off over 2 years, and we've been financial mutants now for like over 8 years. So we've been saving a butt ton of money, and we were able to pay off the mortgage. Now, there's a couple decisions here. One, why did we do it? And a big part for my wife was to save on the interest down the line. Because we paid it off so early, we ended up saving something ridiculous. It was like $230,000 in interest over 30 years. And then two, it's a little bit of the peace of mind, right? We are now in the position where we no longer have to be dual income if we decide to go that route. If one of us wants to quit and be a stay-at-home parent, we now have the option and flexibility to do so. So it gave us options. It helps with my goal of potentially retiring early, and we save on all that interest down the line. So one thing I would like to say is that I know a lot of people come at these type of, would you have been better off investing this whole time? And technically, yes, if you want to believe that in perpetuity you would be getting 8% from the stock market at minimum every single year as an annualized return. My mortgage rate was 5.625. So not super low, but not as drastic as the 7% yields that I've seen some people been paying recently. So 5.625 was also what I got after paying down some points, buying some points, and getting that rate from a 6.2, I believe, somewhere around there, to a 5.625. So I had to buy points just to get to that 5.6, and I would consider that, as someone who's trying to retire early, as a decently high interest rate on a mortgage. I could have potentially refinanced down the road, but my gut has a feeling that we're not going to see anything close to like 3 to 4% mortgage rates for a long time. So you would be playing the waiting game trying to refinance, and you'd be paying a crap ton of interest because all of the interest is so heavily front loaded onto the mortgage. When you first purchase any kind of loan, all of the interest is going to be front loaded. So do I have any regrets? No, but a lot of people, I think, overstate the peace of mind that it gives you. And because of that, or the reason because of this, at least I believe, is that you still have to pay property taxes and homeowners insurance. It's not like, you pay off the mortgage and all of a sudden it's like everything with the house is free. Unfortunately, I live in an area where my local and property taxes are decently high. So it's not like it's something like, I know a lot of places down south from here, you could get away with paying like, $1,000 a year property taxes. I'm like more than 7 times that. So, I feel like down the line, like in a decade or so, it's going to get to the point where I'm owing like $1,000 a month just for like property taxes. So in that regard, it's not like I am like magically relieved of everything and I have a super peace of mind. I know it's a lot harder to get kicked out because of property tax failure versus like not paying your mortgage. I realize that it's a lot easier for the bank to repossess your house when the mortgage is paid off. It's a lot harder if you're not paying taxes. There's a lot more give and take there. Nonetheless, you can still get evicted, okay? And because of that, it's not like a super peace of mind, but it is really nice that we have the flexibility now to open up that $1,668 that we were spending on just principal and interest, save that $1,668, and we can direct it towards other avenues. And that $1,668 a month of margin was just enough to make it a more comfortable decision if we want to have one of us quit our jobs and no longer be dual income. So in that regards, there is absolutely no regrets. You can't buy back your time and you can't buy flexibility most of the times. But in this case, we were able to buy the option of flexibility. It's just, it wasn't that overwhelming, like, oh my God, like the mortgage is paid off and everything is so much easier. You know, even as someone who's only 34 years old, I'm not thinking that way, because I still feel the financial stress of the property tax and homeowners insurance payments. So that's just part of the mindset of someone like me who's like heavily into the weeds of everything personal finance. And I'm just like, I track my personal finance and expenditure rate and all that crap every single day. Someone who's overly obsessed, honestly, with their personal finances. So I feel like I will never be 100% comfortable unless I, come across a large sum of money through the lottery or something where I could just pay for property taxes without worrying the rest of my life. I don't think I'll ever get that luxury in my life. Nonetheless, it's still an awesome feeling. I have no regrets. And because of my situation where I'm trying to retire early, and I'll get into the why I'm trying to retire early in my next video tomorrow, I feel a little bit relieved, but I feel excited that I'm able to build out that extra margin and use it for ventures that I'm more interested in, use it for more personal finance reason versus paying the damn bank. Now after this home's paid off, I'm down to one debt in the entire household, and that is my truck. And even that is below $10,000 at this point. And that is a 2022 truck. So I'm hoping to have that for at least a decade. And yeah, I don't have any regrets, but I will say it wasn't like an overwhelming, oh my goodness, everything is safe now feeling. Just my 2 cents. It's Road to Retire. If you want to follow my attempt at retiring early, subscribe and see all my videos talking about whatever the hell I feel like. So hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.